So the Srimad Bhagavatam is not an ordinary book, but it is directly an incarnation of the Lord, Swayam Bhagavan, Lord Krishna. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Sammitam Uttama Sloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishihi Nikshreya Saya Lokasya Dhaniyam Swasti Ayanam Mahat. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God, actually incarnation of Srimad Narayan. It is meant for the ultimate good of all the people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. So what that signifies is, of all the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost, all perfect. So also Srimad Bhagavatam is defined as Brahma Sammitam because it is the sound representation of Brahman, the absolute truth. So while almost everyone thinks that this world belongs to him to enjoy, and he thinks that he should do whatever he needs to keep him happy in this world and squeeze and eat the maximum enjoyment from this world. Many also think that they can change this world. They came to change this world. Oh, they complain, he is bad, she is bad. Let me teach her the truth. But actually we did not come to this world to change others, but to change only ourselves. We are not angels sent by the Lord. Unless one is actually sent by Lord Krishna, like our 6 Goswamis and Acharyas. Actually, we came to suffer and we have to take care of ourselves only. And we have been trapped into this material, this horrible world. And whatever hard we try to enjoy in this world, the more we get only frustration. So this fact is not realized by so many ignorant people. But when they really become older and older, and then it will occur to them. Until then, what will they do? Oh yeah, they will be trying to juggling so many things. Actually, here is an excerpt from the book Saranagati. So what it is saying is, from early in the morning until going to bed, see how many desires are coming in the mind. I will do this, I will do that, I want this, I want that. Then how many of these desires are actually getting fulfilled is another question. Hardly some, practically none actually happen sometime. Because when we think that we have fixed something, very soon another problem will pop up right away. And another, and another, and another. But our desires have no end. Even until we go to the deathbed, even there we will be getting these desires. How many of our desires are really fulfilled? See, while we think we are the master, the fact is that Krishna is the only Ishvara. In fact, he is not just Ishvara, Parama Ishvara. Ishvara means controllers. You have different gods for controlling different things. Different Brahmandas, there are controllers are there. But Krishna is Parameshwara. Ishvara Parama Krishna. We are not Ishvara. We are only servants. And a servant cannot be independent. A servant always under the control of his master. So our philosophy is that our happiness lies in the happiness of Krishna. This is very difficult to understand sometimes. Our foremost duty is to please Krishna only. Krishna's pleasure and our pleasure should coincide. And we should not have our own independent pleasure. That is the real problem. If we try to please Krishna and act for his pleasure, we will be completely happy. It is said in so many scriptures that if Krishna is satisfied, then the entire world will be satisfied, because the whole world is within him. Even though we strive to be the controller, Krishna is the real controller. We are not. We are in the material forest, lost forever, and running like dogs and cats here and there, thinking that we are happy. What is that, this material forest? This is actually coming in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is saying, of course, I'm not going to go through this full sloka. This is just one sloka, which is actually very big. I'm not going to read that. So the material forest is a very scary forest. King Parikshit asked Sukadeva Goswami about the direct meaning of this material forest. Sukadeva Goswami replied, as you read in this sloka, he says, my dear king, a businessman is always interested in earning more and more money. Sometimes he enters the forest to acquire some cheap commodities like wood and earth and these fruits and vegetables and sell them in the city at good prices. Similarly, the conditioned soul, being greedy, enters this material forest, which is material world, for some material profit. They came here to try to enjoy. And gradually this jiva enters the deepest part of the forest. And with constant greed, not really knowing how to get out, he goes even deeper and deeper and deeper and searching for happiness. And he finally gets completely lost, taking birth after birth after birth after birth. Because of the karmas and everything he is accumulating, he is completely trapped in this material forest. And having entered this material world, the pure soul becomes conditioned. It was pure to start with. Becomes conditioned by the material atmosphere, which is created by the external energy of Lord Krishna. Thus, the living entity comes under the control of the external energy called Maya, Devi Maya. Living independently and bewildered in the forest, he tries to be independent. He lives in his own world. He does not attain the association of devotees who are always engaged in the service of the Lord. Once in the bodily conception, he gets different types of bodies one after another under the influence of this Maya and impelled by the modes of material nature, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So in this way, the conditioned soul goes sometimes to the heavenly planets, sometimes to the earthly planets, sometimes to the lower planets, and sometimes born as lower species and sometimes higher species. They are perpetually lost in the jungles called the material forest. Thus, he suffers continuously due to different types of bodies. These sufferings and pains are sometimes mixed. Sometimes they are very severe and sometimes they are not. These bodily conditions are acquired due to the conditioned soul's mental speculation. His mind is the biggest problem. He uses his mind and five senses to acquire knowledge here and there. What knowledge is that? It's only Jada knowledge is here. Who is interested in actually knowing spiritual knowledge? Are they teaching that in the universities? They don't even know who they are. Nothing. So using the senses under the control of the external energy called Maya, the living entity suffers the miserable conditions of material existence. He is actually searching for relief, but he is generally baffled, although sometimes he is relieved a little here and there, but mostly after great difficulty only he can probably try to get a little comfort. But again, it is only temporary. Struggling for existence in this way, he cannot get the shelter of pure devotees who are like bumblebees engaged in only loving service at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And meanwhile, what happens to the materialistic people? Yugas after yugas are simply wasted by these jivas trying to find some happiness in this material forest. So many forests, wandering planets after planets. And the Kali Yuga is really horrible. Now we are coming to Bhagavatam. We are actually seeing only the beginning. As the Kali Yuga has not started yet actually. How will be this Kali Yuga? Prayena alpayushasabhya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhakyahi upadruta. Prayena means almost always. Alpa means very little. Ayusha means duration of life. Alpa ayushu. They may really die any time. And also the sabya, the so-called learned, what they are talking about this age of Kali. Kalau is in this age of Kali that is full of quarrel. As mean here in this yuga, this age, jana, the public are how? Mandaha, lazy, stupid, all laziness. Sumanda matayaha, misguided. Who is teaching them? In the school, if they are teaching correctly, then why they are shooting and why they are all kinds of killings? So many things. They are not teaching anything. They are teaching only how to be what? That remember the 4 things that, okay, how to eat nicely, eat, sleep, and mate, and defend. These are the only thing. That's it. And then mandabhagya, unlucky. They are not lucky at all. And high, above all, disturbed. Upatrudaha. Upatra means disturbed. Upatram. So now we can see how the Kali Yuga is going on. Oh, learned one. In this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, wasting their time and life. Misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Their life is a total waste. They completely forget about the real purpose of our life. So this way exactly the concern of the sages assembled. So the sages asked Suta Goswami, who was invited to lead yajna actually as a remedy for this Kali Yuga's evil effects. But what did Suta Goswami say? He said something else. Because the sages decided to do yajna, everyday yajna, for all the rest of the all the days in this yuga. But Suta Goswami said, no. Any amount of yajna or even worship would be helpful in this Kali Yuga. No. Even temple worships are not going to be good. But he suggested to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That would be the only way to rectify the effect of this Kali Yuga. So the sages abandoned the fire sacrifices and decided to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the lotus mouth of Suta Goswami, who heard from Sukadeva Goswami when he was narrating that to Parikshit Maharaj. Dhannakshushru samananam arhasi anganuvarnitum yasyavataro bhutanam shemaya cha bhavaya cha. O Suta Goswami, we are eager to, yes, as you have suggested, yes, we are eager to learn about Lord Krishna and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters, acharyas. For one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them, because by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one's soul is just getting uplifted. So please, that was how the Srimad Bhagavatam that we have right now actually finally came to us. Major recitation, that was by Suta Goswami. So that is what the Bhagavatam we got. So Suta Goswami heard it from Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami was narrating to Parikshit Maharaj. There so many sages were there, now including Narada Muni, and Veda Vyasa also came and attended actually. But Sukadeva Goswami was the narrator. And then this Suta Goswami heard from Sukadeva Goswami and narrating it here. That is Bhagavatam. So the sages were all saying, Apanna samsritim koram yennama vivaso grunam tatak satyo vimuchyeta yet bibeti swayam bhayam. There is something coming as bhayam. So the living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death. You know where? In the material forest that we talked about. Who are lost in the endless jungle of material forest can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna. Who is Krishna? Even which is feared by fear personified. Even the most fear will run away by hearing the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. This is what he is saying. And the sages they continued. Yet pada samraya sutta munaya prasamayana satya punandi upasprishta swardyunyapo anusevaya. O Sutta Goswami, by your visit here to this Dandakarunya forest, which was already blessed by so many ways, because that is a place where the rishis used to assemble, and in Treta Yuga Lord Ram also visited. This place become more holy now. Those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. You have to keep on taking bath. Keep on taking bath slowly and slowly and slowly. Only that will have. But whereas a pure devotee, just by visiting a place, just getting darshan of him, it is equal to infinite times taking bath in Ganges. Actually, once Ganga Devi was complaining to Lord Vishnu. What was a complaint? Oh Lord, by your order, I came down to this earth to wash away the sins of the sinners. But as I am washing their sins, I get contaminated. How can I am going to be purified? For that, Lord Vishnu replied, Oh Ganga Devi, don't worry. To take bath in your water, my devotees will also come. Not only sinners, my devotees will also come. When they touch your water, you will immediately get purified. Bhavatvida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kuvandi Tirthani Swanandastena Gada Bruta. It is actually the devotees of the Lord who makes places to become holy, because they carry the personality of Godhead within their heart. So wherever they go, they turn all those places into places of pilgrimage. Ganga Devi was then very happy. So who is glorious here? Is Ganga Devi Mother Ganga or pure devotees of Lord Krishna? Who is? So wherever the pure devotees of Krishna resides or visit, that place automatically become the holy places. So whenever we go for the pilgrimage or parikrama, people just think that they are just going as a tourist. Total waste. So we should have association with the sadhu. We go for that and hear the narration about this all the holy place. And especially hear Harikatha from them, there in that place. So the sages in Dandakarunya forest requested Sutta Goswami to speak about the Leelas of Lord Krishna. Tasya karmani udarani parigitani surbhihi bruhi nagsrattadananam Leelaya dadata kala. Srimad Bhagavatam says, about whom? Lord Krishna. Because the first 9 cantos are preparing to even know about Krishna. So Lord Vishnu is the highest and Lord Narayana is the highest, like that. When it comes to 10th canto, everything changes. No, whatever that you have learned is preparation to understand Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, now you hear about. So his transcendental acts are magnificent and so gracious and glorious. And great learned sages like Narada Muni sing of them. Please therefore speak to us, who are eager to hear. We are all eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. When we hear the pastimes of Lord Krishna from the pure devotees, that touches the soul. Whereas everybody else talks, it doesn't touch the soul. It touches only the mind. Oh yeah, he was giving this and that and this kind of, but the problem is, only pure devotees actually directly you have to hear in front of him. Then only it touches the soul. So the pastimes of Lord Krishna are the most enticing to the jivas and best of the topmost happiness. Topmost. By hearing his leelas, a jiva can easily cross the ocean of birth and death. That is nothing. How will we cross? It is mentioned that for a devotee who has really heard Srimad Bhagavatam and reciting Srimad Bhagavatam at least one verse every day, so his thought is always immersed in Srimad Bhagavatam, will be able to cross this ocean of the samsara ocean like crossing the hoof of a cow. Suppose the cow is really going on the field, every time it really places its leg, there is a small puddle that will form. The impression. So how big is that? Very small. So how difficult is it to really cross that? That way, one can cross the samsara ocean. That's what he is. I am not saying, Sastra is saying. So by hearing his leelas, a jiva can easily cross the oceans of birth and death and attain the highest goal. This power of crossing, where does it come from? It comes from the hearing the nectarian kathas of Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That is the only way where it's coming. What does Bhagavan say about what would Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam say about Swayam Bhagavan? Who is he? He is the one who roams on the banks of Yamuna. He is the one who really plays flute so nicely. And he is the one who attracts every jiva. Not only jivas, even immobile, even atoms gets attracted. He is the one who appeared as the son of Nanda Baba and Yashoda. He is the one who steals the minds of his devotees. He is the one and original Swayam Bhagavan, the souls of Lord Narayana, and thus he is the Adi Narayana, the souls of Adi Narayana. So in the disguise of cowherding, Krishna actually tastes so many mellows of divine love with the jivas that want to be with him and lovingly serve him. Not all the jivas are interested. You can see that. How many people are interested in the Harikatha? No, they are not going to make it. So in Braja, the clouds and trees and birds and rivers, as we saw in the previous classes, everything is attracted by him. Even the dumb animals are stunned by seeing his beauty and gets mesmerized when hearing his flute. And these, where exactly all these cows and calves, where do they come from? They are so fortunate, of course. They are always roaming around Krishna. Krishna is calling, and they are lovingly, they are just embracing and licking his feet and all. So many, and then then Krishna uses the flute to call them by their name. Exactly by their name they can actually call. He calls every cow, every gopi, he has a unique thing, like our like the social security number. Every jiva has a social security number, something like that, but it is infinite. Not like our social security number will run away because of the number of digits. But here, look at, see the way he has created. Of course, he didn't directly create, Brahma created. But look at here, our finger impression is different. Everybody has different faces. Where is all coming from? Because Krishna wants all the jivas with varieties. So these cows are so many. They're all Kamadhenus coming from Goloka. They also have, even though they are all having motherly affection, the cows, there will be difference again. And the calves, they are like sakas. They actually play with Krishna. They also have, everyone will have different kinds of sakas, love. But what about the gopis are talking about? So as we are just covering the sweetness of his flute, and that steals the minds of the gopis, how do the gopis feel about the flute of Krishna? We saw that clouds, rivers, trees, all how they really feel and how they are serving, we saw. How do the gopis feel about the flute of Krishna? They say, this little piece of bamboo stick is ruining our lives. It caused us to become mad. It makes us to renounce everything and become a beggar. It made us to throw our husband. It made us to throw our homes. It made us to throw away our children. And it made us to throw away all relatives. It basically made us to throw everything and becomes mad. Mad. If we really want to live peacefully, like the desis here, right? They want to be peaceful life. Then, all following the worldly dharmas, you know what we should do? We should steal his flute and destroy all the bamboo forests, bamboo trees. Then where will you get the bamboo from? This is why the gopis try to steal his flute. That is other pastimes. Look at. So, the beauty of Krishna and his flute tunes make everyone mad. So, in fact, in the beginning, we are actually taking something from, because some philosophy in the beginning, and then some pastimes, and especially we are actually having from the Venu Gita. So, his beauty of Krishna is so good when his flute makes everybody completely mad. His beauty itself is making everybody mad. And then this flute makes double mad. Madhuragana mohana Nayana bhajana Meghavarna shobhana Bhuvana jivana.
Madhuragana mohana Nayana bhajana Meghavarna shobhana Bhuvana jivana.
So his playing and tunes are the Amrita, nectar. It will make everyone who hears into mad. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So, that person becomes mad and he is not fit to live in this world anymore. He will be neglected. He will be called mad. And this is the way a devotee is going to be living in this world because he is mad. And today let us see a glimpse of even how the animals are actually getting maddened by his flute sound. I get so stunned. Srila Sukadeva Goswami is saying, this verse is actually from Venu Gita. And we'll probably cover one more sloka that is from Yugala Gita. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying, as what happens to the animals when they hear the flute of Sri Krishna? Gavacha Krishna Mukha Nirgata Venu Gita Piyusham Uttabitak Karnaputei Bibandyaha Savak Snutastanapoya Kavalasmatastur Govindamatmani Drishasru Kalasprishandyaha. What happens? Gava means cows. Krishna Mukha. Well, this what from the mouth of Lord Krishna is something is nirgata. Nirgata means emitting. Through what? Venu of the flute. What is coming from there? Gita of the song. What kind of song is that? That is Piyusham, the nectar. And what happens to these animals, these cows? We should not even call them animals. Actually, the human beings are the real animals. There are many. These cows are not ordinary. They want to hear the flute of Krishna. So we should not call them as animals. And what do they do? Pibantya. Pibantya means drinking. Who are they singing? Sava. Sava means the calves. And then also the cows, what happens to the cows? The cows from the udders, what is happening? Paya means the milk is kavala. Means basically these calves are really trying to drink milk from the udders of the cow. But something funny is happening here. As soon as Krishna plays the flute, something very funny happens. What happens there? Tastuhu, they stand still. Tastuhu means stand still. Govindam, because Lord Krishna now has entered into their mind. Atmani. Atmani means because within their mind, Krishna has entered. Because the flute goes and Krishna is automatically going there. And they are getting the darshan, drisha, with their vision, whatever they are seeing, with their eyes, ashru kala. What that ashru kala means? From their eyes pours, the tears are pouring like torrents. So, in order to drink the nectarian vibration of the flute song, emanating from the lotus mouth of Sri Krishna, the cows have, what did they it also raised their ears. They raised their ears. And the grass, the cows are eating grass, and there are calves which are also trying to drink milk. So what happens to them? So the cows who are trying to chew the grass, they just remains, that's it, where the grass is not going inside, grass is not going out also. It just is just there, stuck there. Because they forgot to chew. They forgot to chew. They don't know what to do with the with the grass. It's a food, of course, it's a totally forgot. But instead what happened? Because of the flute that sound has gone into there. You see, after, because they are really raising their ears to really, it's like a cow like this, so that they don't want to really miss any of them. They are all going through to the ears and gets into the heart, and they are getting darshan of Krishna there too. And then something happens. What will happen? Because the cows, as soon as they see Krishna, even when they are actually in the Kaushala shed, as soon as Krishna comes from the udders, milk will automatically drip from their udders. This is the cows are happening. What about the calves now? The calves, they were drinking the milk from the udders of the cow. It got the milk in their mouth. It is holding it just there, but it forgot to drink that. So they forgot what to do with the milk now. So they stopped drinking their mother's milk. And as they embrace Krishna within their hearts, tears of love begin to glide down their faces. These are the things we are not able to paint all these emotions. How many people have these kind of realizations that is being talked about in Srimad Bhagavatam? And gopis have the realization. They are conversing about the sweetness of the flute of Sri Krishna. Where? In their homes during the daytime. From the time they really get up in the early morning, they will be always continuously only thinking about Krishna only. Not even a microsecond is really going to be something else. But what about us? What about us? We are very different. Upon awakening in the morning, we just begin thinking about how to solve all our worldly problems, office problems, and politics problems, and the problems we have ourselves created. If we do not have any problem, then we will put the display graph of some stock market somewhere. That will be going on the side screen there. And when that graph goes up, the anxiety and greed goes up. And when that stock market graph goes down, our blood pressure goes up. Something will be always going up. Will we ever be able to get Krishna in this way? Never. Our life will be completely waste. And sometimes we sacrifice some time and try to chant. But how do we chant? Look at how, actually why Sri Narottam Das Thakura was kicked out from Vrindavan by Lokanath Goswami, his guru, because Narottam Das Thakur had his own bhajan kutir. He was continuously chanting. Just once there was one farmer came. He was in thirst, full of, thirsty. He wanted to get some water. And he went to Lokanath Goswami. Lokanath Goswami did not answer. And then the Narottam was there in the next nearby hut. So he was asking, please give me some water. Oh, Narottam Das Thakur just stopped chanting. He put the beads there on the side and he gave water. Lokanath Goswami came to know, you get out from this Vrindavan. What are you, when you are chanting bead, Tulasi bead, what are you holding? You are holding the Vigraha of Radha Krishna and you are insulting them. This immortal, this mortal man is more important than he is going to have so many births after birth. Why are you worrying about them? You stop chanting. You dishonored. So get out from this Vrindavan. But for our inattentive chanting, maybe we will be kicked out millions of times like this. But how does the pure devotee chant? This is the room used by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. In this tiny room, he enters, sits on the platform that you really see there. Without making any single movement, he sits there and he chants. And whatever he is chanting, he will also hear that complete. Because it's not just one way. You have to hear the vibration. Because when you chant the holy names, your skull and everything vibrates. You have to really receive that vibration. So he doesn't do anything else. Hearing completely whatever he chanted. Our Gurudev tells the same thing. The sadhakas should learn from the lives of gopis. What do? Upon awakening in the morning, they begin meditating on Krishna only. Which means that they begin burn, they're burning in separation. Starts, as soon as you get up, even in the dream also the same thing. Then they really to take bath and then decorate themselves for whom? Only for Krishna. So the theme of their conversation is how can we meet Krishna? The gopis, they are totally different. There is not even a millisecond spent without thinking about Krishna. This is real Krishna consciousness. In the morning they go to Nandagaon, also called Nandagrama, to cook for Krishna and to get darshana. Then they really come back to Yavat or their own homes. Yavat is a place where Radharani was really living. So the remainder of the day is spent like talking about Krishna only. And there will be different groups. In each group, one gopi will be speaking and so many other gopis will be listening. And there are thousands of these kind of groups. According to their particular natures, they are all seated in groups and are singing about Lord Krishna's pastime only. This is Yavat. You see Nandagaon all the way there, up there. And so you are actually, this is the picture taken in the right side. It's taken from the top of the Yavat, where the room of Radharani is also there. But when we take our beads and sit to chant, our minds wander here and there. Then another devotee comes and then sits near to us. And then we begin conversing with something, this and that. We abandon our chanting of Harinam and leaves, and he also leaves that. But the gopis are not like that. One gopi says to another, "Aho, from the lotus mouth of Krishna, the sound of the flute has emerged. It has crossed the entire Brahmanda. Crossed Siddhaloka, Vaikunthaloka, Ayodhya, Madhura, Dwaraka, and now entered in Vrindavan. While grazing, the cows hear this hypnotic vibration and at once raise their ears. The melody of Krishna's flute is like celestial nectar, and it is as if they are drinking the nectar through their ears, but we are not." So this is the thing. And the grass that they had taken in their mouth moments before is just remaining there. They are not swallowing it. And it is not coming out of their mouth either. They are just standing motionlessly and listening. And when the calves who are drinking their mother's milk hear the sound of Krishna's flute, the milk that they had drawn out remains in their mouths. Usually it is swallowed immediately, but at the time it is just it remains in their mouth and then gradually begins to glide down from the corners of their mouth. What to speak of just those cows and calves? All the inhabitants of Braja have become absorbed in the melody of Krishna's flute. But we are not so fortunate. These cows and calves, they are also shedding tears of prema. And sometimes even the clouds shed tears as prema as on Krishna as well. Like very cold shower, mild shower, just to make him happy, very nice. And it's all their tears. But it is our great misfortune that we are so hard-hearted that we do not have that, that stamina, that willpower to leave our homes at once and go wherever Krishna is playing his flute and become equally spellbound. We also want to be like that, like the calves and cows. Because we are afraid of being disgraced in society, we are holding our patience and not going there. Considering that, there are too many obstacles. But if someday the sound of the flute really enters our hearts, then at once our patience will fly away and we will immediately run to Krishna. If we could give up these bodies right now and take births as these cows and calves, that would be very good. Then whenever we want to hear the sound of Krishna's flute, we would go there at once. no obstacles, nothing. We would be entirely under his protection. And while gazing at him, we would forget everything else. We want to forget everything else. We want to think only about Krishna. In this way, the gopis are speaking. Just to see the nature of the condition and their feelings. For receiving darshana of Krishna and for hearing the melody of his flute, a sadhaka should be such a feeling should be coming out of separation. But do we have the separation mood? Vipralamba bhava in our heart. And then only our bhajana is really bhajana. Otherwise it is not. It is bhajana. If one sadhana is established on sound knowledge of Vaishnava philosophy, and he becomes free from anarthas such as fruitive activity, karma, jnana, this, yoga, all kinds of things, and cultivating impersonal knowledge, this what is Mayavadism, all kinds of things, laziness, criticizing other devotees, and committing offenses, then Bhagavan will not. If we have that kind of attitude, then Bhagavan. So if you are really throwing all these things out, except only then following the teachings of our acharyas, then we'll be successful. Bhagavan is just behind us only. There is another verse also coming saying the same thing again. I just described the same way again. This is from Yugala Gita. So here saying, I put the sloka too. Brinda so braja vrisha murga gavo venuvatya krita chetasak arat dandadashta kavala drita karna nitrita likita chitram ivasan. Hearing the vibration of Sri Krishna's flute, the bulls and cows and deers of Vrindavana all approach him, unable to swallow the grass that they had taken into their mouths. They stay silently with their ears raised and appear like animals in painting. Chitra. Chitram means it's like animals in painting. That means they're just like motionless. Some people may say, oh friend, there is no need for all this devotion to God. Those who have bhakti actually have no happiness. Even in the stage of sadhana, they are crying. They think by leaving home to engage in bhajana, I have made all my family members cry and I am no longer, live with them. But look at what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. What are you saying? Nayanam galata shrudaraya vadanam gadkadaruddaya gira pulakair nijitam vabukada tavanama grihane bhavishati. See, Lord wants to, he's asking, when will I cry? They want to cry. Gopis are crying all the time. And the sadhaka should be always desire to cry. So that is the important thing here. So if we cry for Krishna, then he comes down. In Braja, so what gopis are saying is, in Braja we are the most unfortunate. Everyone else is becoming filled with bliss by receiving Krishna's darshan. But we must remain here in our homes. What is this? This is very bad. So they cry. So if you cry for Krishna, then you have got the most precious, the jewel of bhakti that even gods cannot get it. Lord Shiva does not have it. Lord Brahma does not have. And Lord Indra, all the demigods, they do not get it. And if one cries for Krishna, Krishna comes down immediately. When we have this crying mood wanting only Krishna, what do we cry for? You saw the video. What the child? That child was actually crying and he was even talking to Krishna. And where the other one? He is actually trying for what? Playing game on iPhone and iPad. This is how our children are. What is this? Totally wrong. So when we have this crying mood wanting only Krishna, then that is bhajana. This is Gurudev is saying. So when Sukadev Goswami was narrating, it's not for only himself that he felt that. All the listeners, they are all went through these sweetest mellows of Vrindavan forest. We have been mentioning only some of the mellows from Venu Gita and Yugala Gita. Here only 2 slokas that we pulled out. Now, whatever Rupa Madhuri, whatever there are 4 Madhuris are there, and his pastimes are there. We haven't come to that yet. Actually, the purpose of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is to learn how to cry for Krishna. This we have to understand. Only when we cry for Krishna, we will get Krishna. Then only our life will be successful. If you are trying to go with Vaikunta, this, that, this, this Vishnu Sahasranama, that Sahasranama, this everything, and then this puja, that puja, Krishna is not going to be. Krishna is not attracted by all these. Krishna attracts only when you cry only for him. Ananya Bhakti he wants. Whether you give your whole heart to him, otherwise none at all. He does not want anything else like that. So otherwise, so if we do not cry for Krishna, our life is a waste. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to call his mata as crying school. He was teaching how to cry for Krishna. That was the only thing. There is nothing else. Nothing. Only this teaching is only for how to cry for Krishna. That is art of crying. Ideally, one should renounce everything and wander in Vrindavan like a beggar, crying and begging and begging. Begging what means? This is not for food, not for prasadam. Begging from Vaishnavas. So you go to because this is the last. So because the E-series, I really they compose this as the very last bhajan, because this is the ultimate goal. Aham means me. Bhikshu, I want to be beggar. Beggar, crying beggar in Vrindavane. Every place you cry, go on there. Why? Why every place? Roaming all in Vrindavan forest, crying for Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda, Ratna Kunda, Brahma Kunda, begging and crying for these 2 things. Yes, the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Only when we get the mercy of the Vaishnavas and Brajavasis, then you will be able to hear the flute of Krishna there. Is there. Aham Bhikshu Brindavane Yamuna Tire Brindavane.
Aham Bhikshu Vrindavane, Yamuna Tire Vrindavane. Aham Bhikshu Vrindavane, Yamuna Tire Vrindavane. Govardhani Vrindavane, Govardhani Vrindavane. Govardhani Vrindavane,
Okay, so that concludes our class for today.